How about that? All right, cool. I was doing too much. You logging in with me? We're gonna get right into it. First off, how was your all's weekend? Hope you had an excellent weekend. Me and mines did. Birthday parties, daddying, relaxing, working. All that takes place in the weekend, but ready to get refreshed and ready to go. I was in the gym this morning, and I know those people are like, what's wrong with this guy? It's 5 or 6. I think it was 6 o'clock. I got there by 6 o'clock. It's 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, and this dude's just smiling like it's Monday. Why is he so excited? I was excited to be in the gym. Listen, people, I'm going to go into some things. First off, it's August. I'm wrapping up this month, this health conscious month. If you went and watched all of my previous lives of this month, maybe the first one wasn't, but I know the last 2 to 3. I don't know how many Mondays are there in August, but there were at least 3. So whatever. This is the last. I'm wrapping it up. I wanted to make it health month. A lot of people tend to take vacations in August. All our kids were going back to school, but this is just the consciousness in the business world. August tends to be one of the slowest months. And I thought it was cool during one of the slowest months for us to focus on health, something that I am very, very adamant about and into. Why? Because like I spoke about it before, when you get healthy, a lot of things change. And if let me close. Hold on, guys. Elijah, sir. Elijah? No, come here now. Come now. I didn't say a second. I said now. Sir, please. Hello. Okay, perfect. So my apologies. So finishing it up, and I want to go some specific things that I'm doing in order to take care of my health. Some specific things, and I don't know if you checked out my. I think I had it in my Facebook stories. I'm actually going to post it on Facebook and actually wanted to post and probably on Instagram as well. If you checked out this, I have this weight app. It's hooked up to it's called HealthMate, and it's hooked up to my scale. So every time I step on the scale, it reports all the information, and it reports the body fat percentage. It reports the pounds weighed. It reports. Hold on, guys. I'm on live, and you're kind of loud. Did you take a bath? Can you close the door and please don't shout? Yes. And 9:30 bedtime, please. Yes. I'm parenting. So yeah. So it reports all this information: water, bone density, how much muscles, blah blah blah. I don't know how accurate it is, but I enjoy it anyway. So I started off in February at about 245. I actually gained some weight in April. That's when the youngest was born. Paul was born. I gained like 3.5 pounds, but I think I was still about 236, 237. And as of Saturday, when I took that note, it was 204. So I lost essentially 30 something pounds after April, because April, like I said, I gained like 3.5 pounds, but it's been steadily 8 pounds in May. I think close to 6 pounds in June. July was another 8 pounds. and August I'm looking at about 8 to 10 pounds, and I'm feeling different. I'm not. I don't know. I don't think I told you exactly what I'm doing, but let's talk about it. I'm not drinking caffeine. I'm not taking a pre-workout. I had an issue with pre-workouts. Pre-workouts have about maybe between 250 to 400, all the way up to 400 milligrams, I've seen anyways, of caffeine in it. I mean, and I was taking it to the point where I would still fall asleep. I could take a pre-workout and go to sleep because I was just taking it every day for just because I was so used to it. And so starting in July, I think in the mid-July, when I went to go see my nutritionist, he said, do not take any more caffeine and cut out sugar. So I cut out the caffeine, I cut out sugar. And the first week, I'm not gonna lie, and I think I spoke about it. It was tough. It was tough. Elijah had to go through some things because I'm so used to. Let me take some of my air. I'm so used to. It was tough. Oh, Elijah had to go through some things. There we go. So I haven't been on caffeine, but I miss it. I miss having some kind of caffeine, but I'm not taking it. So I'm not taking any caffeine, and that's been about a month and a half. And I'm able to get through my workouts. The first maybe week and a half, I wasn't able to get through an entire workout, full throttle. I kind of gave up. I'm not gonna lie, I gave up on like the last supersets, which was just, if you look at my workout, which I'll post too, but it's kind of crazy. It still is crazy, but I'm able to now at this point in time, I'm able to get to a full workout. Not only am I able to get to a full workout at the end, at the end of my workouts, I do lunges. And this is so that I don't lose muscle, because I do lunges for my cardio. So instead of like running on the treadmill, or doing the elliptical, or even doing the Stairmaster, which is probably, I would, if I weren't going to do lunge, I would do the Stairmaster afterwards. It's in order to keep muscle, because what I didn't want to do was lose muscle while I was losing this weight. So I'm able to, as of my last fitness, when I did the metrics, I was able to lose, what was it? For every pound, it was 80% fat and 20% muscle. And even while I'm doing this cut, essentially that's what it is, or I'm losing weight, I'm getting healthy to lose weight, I'm still able to gain strength. So like today, and I squat every day. So today I was front squatting with a pause. I front squatted 200, and I think Joel is coming in. He just popped in, and I said, I'm gonna add him to this stream. What's going on, brother? How are you?
Hey, I'm all right. How you doing, man?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm in the middle of this live, and I'm explaining to the people essentially what I've been doing for the last 3 months to get healthy. And one of the side effects of getting healthy is that you tend to lose weight. And so one of the things that I've been doing, instead of actually doing true cardio, which is like the treadmill or the elliptical, I've been doing lunges, which is kind of some high intensity interval training mixed with some strength training. So what it does is it helps me to get my cardio up to my heart rate up to about 169, which is at the point for me anyways, and everybody's different, but it's at the point where you're starting to burn calories from your carbs. I think Chris sent this to me the other day. So my whole thing was when I wanted to take the weight off, because I was telling people I was at 237, and as of Friday, when I started clocking when I was 245. But then when I officially started getting on the scale every day, I was 235, 237. And then on Saturday, I was 204. But I'm getting stronger as well. Some people, when they want to lose pounds as opposed to getting healthy, which is you should get healthy and then you lose pounds. But I wanted to still maintain my strength. because if all I did was if I did a lot more cardio or long form cardio where I'm running miles at a time, then I wouldn't be able to. It'd be harder for me to keep the muscle mass, because when you tend to lose weight, you're gonna lose muscle, but you want to lose it you want to lose the least amount of muscle as possible. You want to retain as much muscle as possible. And so right now,
Right.
according to when I took my measurements, I'm losing, out of every pound, 80% of it is fat and 20% of it is muscle, which is pretty good when you're actually cutting. And I've actually started to see a lot of gains within, within my training. Like, I started off, I couldn't front. I was front squat maybe 135 pounds, and then today, I squat last week. My PR was like 275, 275. Today I was doing 265 with a pause at the bottom.
Wow.
But I'm glad that you checked in, because I know that you have recently hired a trainer. Am I not? I'm correct on that?
Yeah. I hired a trainer so that I could start gaining some knowledge of, what I was doing. I know that, I've done a lot of things. Most of us that have ever worked out have at some point, especially those of us who weren't trained at a young age, have gone or have had a friend or somebody that they worked out with that knew more than they did, and we just glean. So I've always been gleaning off of other people, but I wanted to get back in there and really get more serious. So I got a trainer. I hired a trainer to kind of start giving me some knowledge on things that I could do to improve my results. And some of what he's been telling me is very similar to what you're talking about. I mean, this guy's got me in there doing lunges, front squats, back squats, and then there's some other things like just doing weighted push-ups, and also box jumps, and there's a lot of other things. But I noticed that I'll be with this guy for 30 minutes, and I'll be wasted when I'm done. I'm like, what? I was out there lifting weights before that for an hour, and I'm ready to go. I got on a treadmill, ran for 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, got up, did lifted weights and everything, and I'm like, I'm ready to go. And now I'm with this guy for 30 minutes, and I'm like, man, I'm sitting in my car like, I'm getting too old for this,
Yeah, sometimes when you deal with some trainers, man, it's like, did you make this up, or you just, or is this the real workout? But yeah. So what are your goals? Like, what do you when you're doing your fitness goals? Like, how are you defining them, or what exactly? Yeah, how are you defining your fitness goals?
Well, my goals are relatively simple right now. It's basically like two separate goals. One goal is to gain more education. I want to know what's going on and why it's going on. I had an opportunity to ask him a lot more questions beforehand. I probably should start texting him and asking him some questions as they pop up in my mind, because when we're working out, I really don't have time to ask any questions. It's a half-hour workout, and he's watching his watch. He's like, you got 30 more seconds, and the only thing I'm thinking about is controlling my breathing so that I can go through whatever the next exercise is. So I'm doing my best. A lot of times it's supersetting and things like that I already knew about, but the types of supersetting that he's doing, I mean, we're talking about low weight, and it's still having a great impact on me. Every day that I leave, or at least the next day, within 36 hours, I feel the muscle redevelopment. The pain from that. So I'm pleased with that. The second thing that I was just looking for, besides the knowledge, was just like to kickstart my appetite for working out again, which honestly it hasn't kick-started it yet. I know I got a lot of stuff going on, and I fill my day up with so quickly that I still have not really etched out a time per day to do that workout. So those are my two goals.
So just to sum it up, what are your workout goals?
My workout goals, number one is education, and number two is the goal of the trainer is to help inspire continuous workouts.
Okay. So essentially, I'm thinking it's almost like the beginning stages of forming that habit of working out, right? And then be able. So now when you're there consistently, you're knowing exactly what it is that you want to do, and I think that's awesome. I mean, essentially you are building that foundation, and for me, that foundation was built. I mean, because I was in sports, etc. But when you're a kid or when you're younger, and when I mean high school, like you just doing whatever the coach tell you. It wasn't no solid foundation because I got to be about 25 or 26 still attempting to do those type of workouts, and they didn't work. And I was able to get an Officer Thurlow, he's retired now, who actually, he used to be a bodybuilder. And he gave me the information about how to work out. He used to print out me and Beethoven actually, used to print out our workouts for the week. He would give us a workout every month. He would give us a different workout to do. And what he showed me, which essentially ended up, which is the truth, was that the nutrition is the foundation of everything. He says that it don't matter if you can have a Corvette, a body, you can have a Corvette, which a body is like a Lamborghini. Your body is probably one of the most amazing machines on this earth, but you're feeding it garbage. And so a lot of things he taught us, it started off with the nutrition, which I had to get right, and then he got us into what you're talking about, a lot of supersets and lifting. And so from that point on, after he gave me that foundation, a lot of it just came. So I just picked up on it, and I was able to understand a lot what people were talking about. So for me right now, I got an online coach. So the online coach just sends me out every 4 weeks. He gives me a different workout plan, and I just stick to whatever the plan is. And if I have any questions, I can ask him.
That's interesting, and I see that's more for somebody who's intermediate at best,
right?
Because me being kind of novice, I mean, there's some times when I've been heavily into my workout and everything, and I didn't need nobody to tell me anything, man. I was working out 6 days a week, but nonetheless, I stopped seeing gains after a certain amount of time. And I think that was because of education. So like you said, I'm just like, man, I'm pouring a fresh slab.
That's it. That was that foundation. So it was three things that I really wanted to get through on this live. And one of the things is I think people who are getting into fitness, and if you don't have anybody I want to say knowledge, and they can't. I don't want them to just be knowledgeable. I want them to be, experts in the field of body shaping. Because I don't call it bodybuilding, but body shaping. I think so. I think people should hire a trainer. I think if you're going to get into this, and look at you, you have been lifting weight. It was like you weren't lifting weights at all. But now you're saying that you're at this time when it behooved you to pick a trainer, to get a trainer, essentially a coach, so that you can be more efficient in what it is that you're doing.
Yes, exactly. I feel like if I want to get the best out of what I'm doing and the best out of my time, then I should get somebody who's more educated in the field than me to help guide me. And like you were saying a few days ago when we were talking, you mentioned that it may take people a certain amount of time to do something, but if you get a good coach, then you can minimize the amount of time. You can
Yep.
hit that learning curve and do it in much less time because you have somebody to teach you the right way, and you can do it the right way.
Yeah, 1,000%. And so let me see. There was the next thing I wanted people to get into was I did want to talk about the nutrition just briefly because nutrition is huge. Like what you put into your body, the fuel that you're feeding your body is paramount. And so I want people to pay attention to what's going on. And there's two things I want to talk about, and it's going to be brief, and I spoke about it before, but I want it to be as plainly as possible. One is I want to talk about insulin response, and I'm not going to get too far into it, but I want people to start checking their blood sugar levels. Like we really need to start checking that, and then we need to check on detoxifying our liver because we've been eating foods that aren't necessarily, that I'm not saying that they're bad. They're just less nutrition. They're less nutrition than other foods. And what happens is we start to damage our liver, and all of our things, most of our things, and most of the issues that we're having is going to be revolving around the liver. And and the liver is one of the only organs that can fully regenerate. However, it does take 3 years for that to happen. So if you've been eating bad for the last 7 to 10 years, some of us longer than that, then our liver is totally shot. And so now we have to start doing things in order to heal our liver. And that revolves around eating less carbs and definitely cutting down on our sugar. Like we're only supposed to be having about 60 grams of sugar a day. And most of us have that by the time the morning is over. And you gotta count fruit in it as well. Because fruit, which is glucose, goes directly to the liver. So at one point in time, I was thinking, oh, well, I'm juicing a lot of these fruits, etc. And this is okay for me to do. And I was gaining weight, and I could never figure out why. And I started saying, well, the only thing I'm doing is I'm juicing, I'm drinking a lot of smoothies. And I'm not putting any additives in it. I'm not putting honey in it. So I thought I was okay because it was natural sugars. But what I found out later on is that a lot of these different sugars go directly, the natural sugars, which is glucose, goes directly to your liver. So this means that it doesn't stay there like some of these, the processed sugars, the fructose corn syrups, etc. But it's still affecting your liver, and it's not allowing our liver to heal. So for the last maybe 3 to 4 weeks, I cut it out. I cut fruit out completely for 2 weeks, and then I just brought back certain foods that doesn't have a high insulin response or high levels of sugar or glucose, which is stuff like blackberries, raspberries, and strawberries. But it's interesting because I'm from the neighborhood, and blackberries, strawberries, and blueberries weren't really the fruit that we were considering eating all the time. I don't know about you, but what about you, bro? Like, was that one of the fruits that you ate all the time?
No, not at all. I mean, we had watermelon was always a big thing at family reunions and stuff like that. And, apples, oranges, and my mama got me into pears. And then strawberries came along the line, but raspberries, blueberries, any berry other than a strawberry was like, nah, you didn't really do that.
Right, and watermelon isn't that bad. So watermelon is okay. Watermelon is okay, but apples, like you really want to stick. If you are going to eat apples, it should be. And here's the thing: is that fruits are dessert. I know we've come a long way to where we don't understand that the fruit is a dessert. The fruit is like the furthest thing from a dessert nowadays. Like you have a fruit, You can put it in a pie or something. You have an apple pie. But but fruits are desserts, so they're seasonal. So but now we have fruits year round. We have we a multitude of it, and then it has and a lot of these fruits. Or now some people aren't having necessarily organic fruits, which really at this point in time, organic is kind of almost like a ruse at some point in time, because I had some organic lemons. I bought some organic lemons the other day, and they didn't have any seeds in them. So I'm trying to figure out what exactly does organic mean when there's no seeds. But I don't want to down fruit, because fruit is probably a lot better than what a lot of people are eating. So I will, maybe you eat the fruit more than you eat the apple pie. You eat the apple more than you eat the apple pie. But you're going to get to a point where hopefully you get to a point where you can understand, like, you just want to eat a lot of healing foods, and you don't want to eat, and anything in excess is not necessarily good for you, and that includes fruit. But I want to behoove people, because you have to get your nutrition right, and I think nutrition is one of the hardest things to do. And then everybody's looking for this magical bullet, this magic diet. And I told people the other day that the magic bullet is fasting. Like, you can fast, and it's going to heal a lot of things very, very quickly. But that's, oftentimes fasting is even harder than just eating correctly. So one of the tricks to kind of doing it to make it heal, and which is what I practice, is I practice intermittent fasting. So you don't necessarily have to start off like me, because I've been doing this for a long, long time. So it's kind of easy for me to go until 4 o'clock without eating. And no, I'm not gonna say it's easy, but 4 o'clock is like me pushing it. Like, I'm like, oh man, I got to get to 4, because I'm attempting to push where I am. But there was a point in time where I couldn't get to 11 o'clock, because I was used to eating breakfast and being told that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And now I don't have breakfast anymore. I haven't had breakfast in years. And I work out fasted. And I mean, this is me lifting heavy weight, 225. My back squats are over 300 pounds, etc. And I squat every day. I'm lunging, and I even go to the sauna every day. Almost every day. So and all this is done fasted, and I still don't eat until 4 o'clock. And that's because I need to give, and it's because we need to give our bodies time to digest and use our food as fuel, and not only use our food as fuel, but then start to use the fat stores that we have as fuel. And it doesn't start to use your fat stores as fuel until you fasted for at least 14 to 16 hours. So that's why, and so hopefully you're sleeping for at least 8 hours, and then you're awake for the next 8 hours, or 8 hours about. And during those 8 hours, like, that's when your body is really starting to do this job and eating away at the fat stores. So if you're looking for a magic bullet, the magic bullet is in fasting. If you can go 3 days, if you can do extended fasting, not all the time. You can do 1 day a week if that's what you choose to do, 24 hours. 3 days a week. 3 days out of the 3 days extended, maybe once a month. And then you can even go. The longest I've ever done was 5 days, and that was but that was tough. 5 days was a whole different animal for me, because I was doing the 3 days, but the 5 days is a different type of fasting. But it does heal everything, and you're kind of starting from scratch. And so if there is a magic bullet, if you want to call it that, fasting is the magic bullet. Other than that, it's really about watching what you eat and starting to read what's on the back of it. I'm one of those people you're going to see in the supermarket. I'm turning the food backwards and saying, okay, well, what am I really taking in? And then you gotta kind of take that with a grain of salt, because some of these products can be very, very deceptive.
That's interesting right there, bro. And with that, see, I've never been a faster for the purpose of training, training my body. time when I fasted for, that was a complete fast, or 100%. I don't even know if I had water. I may not even have water. But I've also fasted for like a month, just going up until either 5 or 6 or something like that before I had something to eat, or at least after 8. But all of those were like spiritual types of fast, fasting for my heart, my mind, my spirit. But I've never fasted just to make to get my body in line. So that's different. I've heard about the intermittent fast, and I think it's interesting because it seems like it works for many people. I've just never gone that route.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something really, because I started fasting for spiritual purposes as well, and Jesus fasted, and so it's something when something happens within your body and definitely your mind, because you can attest that just through the spiritual fasting and within your spirit, but it also helps when you start to. Go ahead, brother. He said something. I don't know if he might have cut off or something, but there's something that happens because fasting is excellent when you start to get, because your gut is it's like a whole brain in there for your gut health. So once you get your gut health in order, like everything starts to fall in line, and we can go biblical on it, but there is the spirit, doing it for. It definitely helps to be spiritual when you're fasting. I can tell you that. Because then you can focus on the higher power, but a fast helps everything. That's why I mean essentially, like I said, it's the magical bullet. If you want to heal some stuff physically as well as spiritually, etc., mentally, you go ahead and fast. You're gonna start thinking different. And I was getting to that point about getting healthy. A side effect of getting healthy also has to do with not your hormones. It helps your hormones, and then definitely helps to boost your testosterone, etc. But also it gives you clarity. My new mantra is I don't even know what I was thinking when I weighed over 210 pounds, because my mind is working totally different. It's more efficient. It's catching more things. I have more energy. And before you got on, brother, I was telling you that I completely cut off caffeine. So
man, that's heavy. That's heavy right there, man. Oh man, you cut out the caffeine. Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. Are you back on caffeine yet?
Not yet. It's probably the only thing I miss. I miss caffeine right now. Getting up in the morning and having a either pre-workout or some coffee or something. But I cut it out for now. I may go back to it. I'm sure I will at some point in time. I probably won't have it as consistently as I did before because I was having too much of it. I was taking caffeine in every day. So, it's good for my body to take a break, because what happens is that after a while, you start to become used to it. It was like I said, I was telling them I would have almost 200 milligrams of caffeine, maybe more than that, and I can go right back to sleep, which is not really. Yeah, that's not supposed to happen. But if you're supposed to take breaks from caffeine, they say every month you should break at least for 3 to 7 days, just depending on how used to it your body has become. But
gotcha. To keep down the dependency, I'm sure that probably helps as well.
Right. And it's tough, man. That week, for a week and a half, it was tough because I couldn't even get through my workout. So let me get into the last thing. So I start off with, you need to hire a trainer. I definitely think it behooves anyone who wants to get in shape and you haven't worked out in a while, go get a trainer. Don't try to YouTube this. Don't try to Google your way through this through getting your body together. I think it's important that you get yourself together. You get a trainer. Also, start to get checkups. And this is what I'm bad at. It's been a while since I've seen a doctor. We should see doctors at least once to 1 to 2 times a year. So I'm scheduling my appointment. I need to see the doctor because you just want to make sure that everything is clicking, and you want to get your blood work done to see exactly where you're at, because it's important that we're aware of where we're at, because we don't know where we're at, we don't know where we're going. So that's one. The second thing, I talk to a nutritionist. I'm telling people to go to NutriShop in Palm Beach Gardens. I do not get paid to refer you to go to this guy's shop. He's in the PJ Plaza, PJ National Plaza, right across from the Turnpike. Go there. He's a nutritionist. He has a machine that you can get on that'll show you your stats. I think it's important that you go see him. And like I said, go see a nutritionist. This nutrition is not one size fits all. And we need to figure out, because we got different body types. We got different things that we're allergic to or that we're sensitive to. So it's important. Like some people can't eat chicken. Some people can't eat dairy. Some people can't eat. So you need to figure out what it is that you're doing, what helps with that. That fast helps with that as well. Or just cutting down everything you eat and then start putting things in little by little to figure out what you're sensitive to. What is bloating you? Because when you start to become insensitive to it, you have these minor allergic reactions. What happens is you start to be inflamed on the inside, and inflammation causes everything. That's why your knees hurt, your elbows hurt. You got all these different pains because your body is inflamed on the inside. You know, an allergic reaction isn't necessarily just showing on your outward appearance. A lot of things are happening inside of your body, so it's important. Like I said, nutritionists are not one custom size fit. You know what I mean? One size fits all. You got to go get customized. So go at least speak to a nutritionist. It behooves you to spend $100 to $200 to speak to a nutritionist. You know what I mean? You got to find that for yourself. You got to invest in yourself. The last thing I want to speak about is some apps. An app that I like to use when I got started. And that app is called MyFitnessPal. I like you to get MyFitnessPal, because what that does is you can just, and now it's so easy, you don't even got to put the stuff in there. You can just scan the barcode and it's going to tell you exactly what's in food. And I'm telling you, when I was 24 or 25, when I started scanning stuff, it's like you can't unsee it. When as a grown man should, and this is just average, on average, it should have about 2,000 calories. I think that's a lot, but it's 2,000, not a lot. Let me say it's 2,000 calories. Okay, you need to figure out how fast we're getting to 2,000. I think women should be like 1,500 to 1,600. And this is like if you're not really working out, but if you're working out, you can add a little bit more. But let's just take 2,000 calories. When you start scanning that barcode to figure out what's going on, you like, oh, because a lot of us are like, I don't know what I ate. Like, I don't know where this weight comes from. Start scanning the food that you eat. The first thing you do not cut back on anything. Just start scanning or putting in the food that you eat. Count everything. And then what MyFitness app is going to tell you the amount of sugar in there. It's going to tell you the amount of carbs in there. It's going to tell you the amount of calories in there. And you are going to be astonished of how much you are actually taking in. I know I was. You know, it's interesting. And then just by way of you, and I'm telling for most people, just by way of you starting to put this information into the MyFitness app, you're going to lose a couple pounds just on that. Because what's going on with us is that we're not eating because we're hungry. We're eating because because it's just something that we do. It's a habit. You know, I know you heard about Pavlov and the dog. So you're having this Pavlovian response to where, you know, that's when he used to ring the bell and used to feed the dog food. And then after a while, he kept doing that. And then after a while, if he just rang the bell, the dog would just start drooling because he thought the food was coming. And so that's what happens with us. We have all these responses to food, commercials, some of the shows that we watch. Sometimes I remember when my mother, I just used to go by her fridge and used to open it up because I knew there was something in there. Right. Every time I walked away. I was like, why am I? At times I had to catch like, why am I at the fridge? I'm not even hungry, but I'm going to go get something. If you watching, some people when you watch football, I remember when I used to watch football games, you just eating chips for no reason.
Chips, chicken wings, and
Oreo, whatever's in there. So it behooves us, like, just get this app. Get the MyFitness app. If you can, go get this scale. I think I paid $100 for my scale. It's a withering scale. It attaches to this app called HealthMate. HealthMate gives you every time you step on a scale, which you should step on a scale every morning. The saying goes, what gets measured gets improved. You know what I mean? And I'm not and at the end of the day, the weight is not the thing that you want to look at. What you want to look at is your BMI and your body fat percentage. A healthy male should be between 18 to 25%, or rather should be below 25%. On the BMI, you want to be below 25. I think it's 25 for males. And I kind of don't deal with the BMI because if you're lifting weight and you're lifting heavy, if you start to gain muscle, you're going to gain weight because muscle tends to weigh more than fat. It's just more compacted. You know what I mean? That's why you start to see you losing. You know, if you're gaining muscle, you don't see the scale moving, but you might be getting a smaller waist or something, like you're losing sizes. But definitely, what you want to watch your body fat percentage. So. No, that's it, man. I don't want. I've been on here for about 40 minutes. I appreciate it, but I don't know, brother. You got any questions or anything you want to say to the people? I do want something to say, but go ahead, brother.
No, I think that's good. I mean, those are some good tips for sure. You know, how would somebody check their BMI at home?
So, like the scale that I bought does it. It's the Withing scale, WITHING, and you can get on it. And actually, your body mass index. If you know your weight and your height, you can put that in Google and it'll tell you what your BMI is. Now your body fat percentage. I used to, before I got the scale, you could go to the gym that you attend, like LA Fitness has it. This is a little handheld machine, and you put it in front. But other than that, if you don't want to if you don't have a gym, like I'm telling people, go to NutriShop in Palm Beach Gardens. Get on Peter's over $10,000 machine. That's gonna print out. It's gonna print out everything. It's gonna print out where you keep your fat. So it'll tell you, you got 30 pounds of fat around your stomach. You know what I mean? It's gonna tell you got this amount of muscle. It gives you this entire printout. So I behoove everyone, but I do have a scale, so I check mine every day. It shows up on my app. I'm gonna take a screenshot of my stuff, what it prints out for me, maybe tomorrow or Wednesday, and I'll post that in my Facebook group, and I'll probably post it on Instagram as well. And so, is there anything else, bro?
No, man, that's good stuff. Good knowledge. Great job.
Let me see if I have any questions because on Facebook, because sometimes I don't get to see it on here. If you all have commented on Facebook. Give me a second. Oh, I do have a couple comments on Facebook. I apologize, people. Oh man, Mike, what's going on, man? I hope everything's well. What's Fia? Fia said, agree. You can't unsee it. Bored and a habit. Yeah, man. Being bored and a habit would definitely keep you in that fridge, man. 1,000%. So, and it's tough, man. But it's one of the things that we need to master. And I'm telling you, like I said, when I'm over 200, I don't understand my way of thinking when I'm over 210 pounds. My mind is going somewhere. I'm quick to anger, which I get angry quicker. I get frustrated, and probably because I'm more tired. I see Lou checked in. Lou, what's going on? Hope all is well. I'm about to end this shortly. So,
no.
Once again, so if you all have any questions or comments about it, please put it in the comments below, and I'll answer it. Oh, I gave if on the last thing I gave what I'm doing with my drink, which you can have during the fast, which is apple cider vinegar. And what I do is I mix apple cider vinegar with some lemon, and I might put some BCAAs in it. You can put a splash, and then when I'm talking about a splash, like a small splash of cranberry juice, and that'll work out for you too. And that helps. That helps with your gut health as well. You can have that 3 times a day. 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar, 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. Try to make it organic, the ones with the seeds, if you can. I think they actually do sell some organic lemon juice in Whole Foods. And then you can have some organic cranberry juice, or you can have some cranberries, and or like I said, some BCAAs, which is branched chain amino powder, acid powder, and that helps a little. That helps. I'm not gonna say that helps a little bit. It helps, and it gives you something different from the monotony of just having water all day long. If you just drink water, because you can drink water, you actually can have black coffee too while you're fasting. But I told you I got rid of the coffee situation, the caffeine for me. And here's some real good news for those who are still here. Friday at 6:30, as you see, Joel jumped in early on. He and I will be doing our show. I think Joel is on mute right now. We'll be doing.
I'm still with you.
Oh yeah, we'll be doing. Okay, we'll be doing our show on Friday. Community Beacon. I'm very, very excited. And Joel is a wealth of knowledge. We're going to be getting into some high level thinking. We're going to be talking about businesses. We'll be having guests coming on. And we've already aligned some of the first couple of guests that we'll be bringing on to the show. But I'm excited about it. So Friday, we'll be doing it Fridays at 6:30. So check us out on your way home from work if that's where you're coming from, or even if you're at work, just check in with us, man. And I'm looking forward to doing this with my brother, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is going to be a great thing. I'm looking forward to. Just did a little event earlier this night on the Healthy Families thing, and we were mentioning about this live stream that we're going to be doing this Friday as well. I'm looking forward to it. Very positive mindset, mind shift type of communication, and helping people in wherever whenever we can throughout this thing. And I like what you got going on right here, because this is one way for somebody to this civil discourse that you got going on here. This is bad to the bone, man. I mean, just enough a topic after topic, and just kind of like shifting gears and getting people all set up. So when we get in there, we're gonna be ready to touch base with people all over and be able to help them in whatever they bring to the table. We want to be ready for that. So we're definitely grateful.
Yeah, we got to shift our minds, people. There's a lot of things happening. We are in, and this is the moment for it to happen. And then, oh God, I'm about to go on a rant, but forgive me, you all. We are in the midst of this situation. I'm not going to call it what it is, but we know what I'm talking about. A lot of health scares, a lot of this, a lot of fear mongering, etc. And I don't think we're necessarily talking about what exactly is going to fix this actual issue, besides getting a shot. And a lot of it does have to do with health. Like over 70-some% of the United States is obese. 75%, I think it's 73% of the people who are actually very affected by what's going on right now are obese, according to the BMI. So, and they're heavily affected. And this has hit our community like a time bomb, because we don't understand. And I didn't either. I'm telling you, when I was 25, 26, I thought just having 3 meals a day. My first meal was donuts. My second meal was Burger King or something, pizza or something. And then my last meal was like a real meal. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm eating 3 meals a day. Like, I did not know. And so, and like I said, once you get that app and you start putting this stuff into the app, you can't see it. So what happens when you have something that's affecting your lungs, affecting your organs, definitely your lungs, your inner organs, and then on top of that, your organs are surrounded by fat. You know what I mean? It's not enough. I know we attempt to be nice by saying, oh, just go out and walk. To be heart healthy, walk 20 minutes a day, 3 days a week. No. We have to have you need to walk every day. If you're going to do 20 minutes, do 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the evening. You got 40 minutes of exercise. And make sure that your heart rate is getting above 120. And it needs to be almost every day, at least 5 days a week. But that 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the evening, 20 minutes for 3 days a week, it's not going to work. It does not work. And you all know this because you've seen people who are saying, well, I'm getting my 20 minutes in, I'm getting my walk, and the results are the results. I'm a firm believer in what results show. If I wouldn't have had these, and what I'm doing right now, I lose about 1.5 to 2 pounds a week, which is healthy. Like 2 pounds, maybe is like as healthy is that you don't want more than 2 pounds a week. You know what I mean? That you kind of going against what you're supposed to do in regards to health, but you're not going to get that by walking 20 minutes a day for three days a week. We have to have a change, and this needs to be preached from the rooftops. Is that there needs to be a complete change in our community, especially just because of the way that we're kind of brought up and the type of thing that we eat. And it's not easy. I'm not telling you that it's easy, but it's something that needs to be done. So I think I'm gonna end it with that. I'm gonna end health month with that. I'm gonna end health month. I'm gonna end this broadcast with that. We need to have a complete change, and I'm telling you right now, I'm here to help you. And these are some of the things that we're going to be talking about on Fridays as well. Like this mindset shift, it needs to be a change, because for the last 40, 50 years, we've been doing things a certain kind of, probably more than that, probably like 60 years. We've been doing things a certain kind of way, and the results have shown that they're wrong. The numbers are in, folks. The numbers are in. We've tried it. And there's nothing wrong with giving it the good college try, but the results are in, and it's time for a shift. Let's because we can easily talk about wealth as well, because we are, as in our community, we are at the lowest, the least amount of home purchases ever. This is after less than slavery. This is even during the Jim Crow era. Like, we are at the lowest when it comes to transference of wealth. So we need to go back. We need to do, I don't want to call it some backtracking, but we need to check out our history and understand what happened in the last 50 to 60 years and say, okay, well, we're going about this the wrong way. Because it's apparent that we are. I'm not preaching to you, but we're going about these things the wrong way. So some of these things, some of these higher level thinking, I'm not going to come at you all as tough as I am now. If you think it's tough.
No, but you're right. You're right, though. It's all about making those necessary changes, and there are definitely some things that we all have to focus more on. And the mind shift is that is like that activation that helps you to do what you weren't able to do. Everything that you're talking about tonight, it all starts first in the mind.
Yeah.
And all of the different different individuals, friends, and family that I've ever worked out with, they've always told me this one thing when I was lifting weights. They're like, your body doesn't think you can do it. Your mind doesn't think you can do it, but your body can.
Right.
You just have to tell your mind to get out the way. And so it's a mind shift. You don't think that you can bring wealth into your household. It's a mind shift. You think that it's okay to be depressed. No, it's a mind shift. You think that you're stuck, eating the way that you're eating. No, it's a mind shift. You can't exercise. It's a mind shift. You feel like you always get angry too fast. It's a mind shift. You feel like the whole world is on your back. It's a mind shift. Once you shift your mind to this higher level of thinking, then you are able to walk through doors that seemed like they were closed to you. It's like going up to somebody's house. Maybe when you were a little kid or something like that. For the young men, some young men, maybe a young lady, go up to someone's house. You want to talk to this girl, want to talk to this guy, and you're nervous. You're scared. Or maybe it was even a telephone call. Say it was a telephone call. You pick up the telephone and then you just look at it. You don't dial the phone number. You ain't never going to talk to them if you don't dial the phone number. if you don't knock on the door, and so when the mind shifts, then all of a sudden you start to activate your body to do things that you were originally afraid of. God has not given us the spirit of fear, but a power of love and of a sound mind.
Yeah.
So you have to shift your mind in order for us to be able to do the unthinkable, the unaccomplished goals that we have set inside of our minds. In order for us to go and relax on that beach or whatever that thing is that you desire to do, there has to be a shifting in the mind.
That's it, brother, man. I appreciate you checking in. People, everyone who checked in on Facebook, LinkedIn, definitely YouTube. I appreciate you guys. And we're going to continue this health talk next week. I think I'll give you the topic for next month. I was kind of thinking about from family roles, but we'll see. But definitely before that, Friday at 6:30, be there or be square. Community Beacon is going to be live, man. I appreciate you all, and I will see you on Friday.
Peace.
Peace.